Okay, guys, I am recording another one today, and I have to be quiet because my father is in the next room over. I'm going to be talking about today why believing that believing that you are entitled to a partner is just cope in 2025. It's just cope. So, how I'm going to start off this, I'm playing Splinter Cell Blacklist, by the way, so if you see me focusing a little hard, that's what's happening. You'll find that the idea of you being entitled to a woman in 2025 is complete bullshit is simply due to the fact that most women, if depending on your worldview and how strict your worldview is, they will simply not fit your worldview. For example, goodness, sorry, I have allergies. My nose is itching me like crazy. Um, Depending on your worldview, women will not want to be around you simply because of your worldview. So, prime example, I was talking about this at work today. Um, I said most women, as soon as I tell them I am a Christian and that I am going to be abstinent until marriage, they don't want to talk to me anymore. You know why? Because women like getting stuffed as much as most men like stuffing. Does that make sense to you? So they want it just as much as any other normal guy does. Any other guy who's not a Christian, they want it just as much as that guy. And I have literally, I'll be totally honest with you, I have never worked with a woman who is a Christian. Never. It's never happened. And I don't go out all the time. So more often than not, if I'm going to be dating, I'm going to be dating a coworker, which everyone knows is a bad idea. But I mean, what else can you even do about it these days? Because hell, both of my girlfriends I've ever had were we worked at the same job. We worked at the same job because that's just where I met them. You know what I mean? That's just where we met. Because I don't go out riding around looking for girls to talk to. I feel like most guys don't do that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing that, but I feel like most guys don't do that anymore. And hell, that's where my mom and dad met. You know, like I said, rest my mother's soul. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing about that, but I like putting respect on my mother's name whenever possible. Um, they met at the job. They both worked at the same job, and then he quit, and then they both worked at a different job together. So a lot of people, women, are just not going to tolerate my worldview because most people who are Christians or who claim Christianity or Christ as their savior, they don't really follow the teachings of the Bible. So they sin and do things they're not supposed to be doing anyway. Prime example probably is that um, shit. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Maybe. Yeah. Sorry. Here we go. We're fine. Most guys will just have sex at the first opportunity because they're dogs, and a lot of women will do the same. They will want sex at the first opportunity because that's what they want. A lot of people. It disturbs me even actually because I'm gonna go into another tangent around this sort of. A lot of people just want relationships for sex. They don't even really care about the person. And that's kind of gross. It's more than kind of gross, actually. It's disgusting. Because did my mom start talking to my dad or vice versa because she wanted to have sex with him? I don't know. I wasn't there, obviously, because had to be born by them. So, of course I wasn't there. But that's just how things go. And once you put it out there that you are not going to have sex um, before marriage, a lot of women get turned off by that. They want to do that very quickly. So that right there has already put me out of a lot of a lot of numbers. in the numbers game, because dating is a numbers game. Sure, as you guys know. So, you know what I'm saying? Why would women tolerate that? They wouldn't. If they don't have to deal with that shit, they're just not gonna. I don't want to turn my video back on. Whoops! Now I'm dying. Um. Oops. Yeah, I died. I lost. So I have to try that again. Anyway. Once you put it out there that you're not gonna do that, they don't want to deal with you anymore. Which, like I said, is kind of gross. I don't like that. I don't like that way of viewing the world. If it makes me seem childish, because I still believe that things are. How do I explain this? Other things are more important before sex, like several things actually. And people my age won't really even say that, as far as I'm concerned. They won't even say that. I haven't met a person who has told me that sex is more towards the bottom of their priority list for dating. Most people, it's the first priority, and people say, oh, well, you shouldn't wait to find out if you guys are sexually compatible. My brother in Christ, you're not supposed to be having sex with just anybody, everybody, all the time. You're not supposed to be doing that. And people, that's like a controversial thing to say for some reason, is that you're not supposed to be doing that with everybody. No, I think that's a very normal statement. It's just the problem is our society is so um, focused on sex that it is viewed as bizarre if you don't care about it that much. Now, like, look, don't want to be TMI, but God did give me a high desire for women. Which is why, like I explained to another friend of mine, it sucks being alone and it sucks being single, because when I am alone, my brain tells me I should watch pornography. And when I am not alone, when I am partnered, my brain tells me that I should be having sexual relations with my partner, which is not what God has intended for me, because we were supposed to wait until marriage. So as I had said before, you're kind of screwed. Like I told him too, you're kind of screwed no matter what you do. Am I saying that it's over? No, but believing that every man in 2025 and beyond is gonna reproduce is copium. Historically, only 40% of men, all men ever, have reproduced. That's not very high. That's less than half. If it was 50, that would be, better, obviously. But the problem is, it's not 50. It's 40. So your chances of actually reproducing get lower and lower, like every year as a man. That's just the way it goes. I don't know how else to explain that. That's just how it is. Like, it's your chances are the highest now while you're young. And my father keeps telling me, "Oh, this is not nothing. This is not nothing to worry about. Not anything to worry about." I mean, sorry, because he goes, "Oh, it just happens when it happens. It happens when it happens. It does not fucking happen when it fucking happens. You have to be out here trying this whole time to get a relationship, or else you're not going to get one in 2025. That's not how it works, though. I mean, I keep saying in 2025 because people who are older might watch this video and not understand, because it's not the same. You've been married 20 years probably. 10 years, 20 years. Like I said, my parents were together for 25 years. That's a long time for people. 25 years, one marriage. And, my father had basically only had, excuse me, one girlfriend ever. And my mother had maybe two or three. That is crazy to think of, like, to say that out loud, because most people don't do that. They sleep around for years. Like my ex-girlfriend, for example, is already on guy number 4. That is crazy. That is crazy to be on guy number 4 at 20 years old. Insane. Actually insane. I'm not shaming her. I don't care. But that's, I'm just saying, the social climate and around sex and dating is much different than it used to be. It just is. Like, I don't know why people think that this shit isn't true. It's not the same. Like, the advice your parents apply to you is basically void. That's the worst part about it. Because, yes, it's always been hard, it's always been difficult, it's always changing. But what they think, how they think it works or worked, doesn't really exist anymore. Okay? That's the problem here. Because they still think it's like exactly the same as it was 20, 30 years ago when they were in their 20s. And that's just simply just not true. I don't know why we can't grasp that as a collective society, that it's just not the same and it's not ever going to be the same as it was 20, 30 years ago. Why the fuck do I keep getting insta-killed by this guy? It's very, very annoying. What time is it? I gotta go to bed in like 10, 15 minutes. It's just like another example. It teaches in the Bible that a man should not marry a woman unless she is also a follower of Christ. Because it teaches in the Bible that only iron sharpens iron. And that's probably, a more modernized version of the quote. But I believe it goes, it does no good for a man to be with a woman who is unequally yoked. Meaning yoked in the spirit, being that on unfamiliar playing fields in the eyes of God. Being that, not that God is favoring one or the other, because obviously we are all, created in His image and we all have inherent value. But the idea of one is familiar with God and one is not. And since one is familiar with God, they will view the world differently and the other is not. So the other one will not help their spouse pursue God. See, if the one is secular and the other is a Christian or a Catholic, whatever, they will simply just view the world differently. That's just how it is. It's not ever gonna. That's not really ever gonna change, I don't think. Where if you are a Christian and your spouse is a non-religious person, you fundamentally will never fully see the world on the same level. Because there is this girl at work. Now, we are good friends. I'm not going to drop her name. Some people who watch this may know what I'm talking about because I've brought it up to them. But the one coworker of mine she's a very nice girl. She's very sweet. She's a very good friend of mine. Okay, and she is not a Christian. She is a secular person. So if you don't know what secular means of the world. I'm tilting the stand here. Hold on, so I can actually sit back and you can get mostly me in the feed or whatever. She's a very nice girl, but she's not Christian. And I date to marry. I would love to be married one day. I'd love to be married, and I'd love to have a nice house and beautiful wife, beautiful kids. Am I stressed about this? Do I want this to happen tomorrow? No. I am 20 years old. I'm in no rush. I'd like to have kids before I am 30, though. So that gives me a pretty decent window of when to expect to actually, pursue the family ordeal. But most women I know don't want family. They don't want to do that. So we are at a point in time as well. If I could find the video, I'll link it in the description, where more women and young girls who have been polled, like in high school or whatever, are saying that they are not interested in having a family ever. And more young boys are saying that they are very interested in having a family. So this creates this weird divide where only half of the participants actually want to have families. So that's creating this schism in um, the dating market because only half of the participants want children. And I feel like that is really low. That is very concerning for any normal person to think about, honestly. Like, nobody wants to. I feel like the point of life for the majority of people is to have kids. Like, am I wrong? Because I feel like if you're not having kids, like, you're kind of wasting your potential. That's what keeps your bloodline alive, you know? The fact that when you have kids, your kids might have kids one day. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everyone has to have kids, but that's like a huge point to like a lot of this is having kids. So like most people, if they aren't having kids, it's like why are you even? What is the point of this? Like why are you even alive? Like I'm not saying you need to like kill yourself, but like what are you even about if you're not having kids or you have no desire to have kids? It doesn't make much sense to me in all honesty. Like I don't really understand why you would choose to not do that, but whatever. Like I think it's a bit strange, but whatever. It's not really. I'm never gonna shame a person though for not wanting to have kids. I think that's like kind of gay and like stupid. So, but like yeah, I don't. I can't. Part of me wants to date her, and part of me wants to just stay good friends with her, so I don't have to deal with certain how do you say certain dynamics because this person is like one of my best friends I've ever had. Like just straight up. And that is, you know, really good for me, honestly. It's really good for me that I have a friend like her because I've never had a person invite me to social events. Never ever once. I've never had a friend go, "Hey dude, let's go hang out at this place at this time on this day." Never. Ever. Like I don't know if it's this Gen Z thing where people don't like hang out anymore. If it's the fact that everyone's broke, because I did also watch another video saying that most Gen Z people don't hang out, and I mean that seems to be true because I've never hung out with any of my friends in public other than one time ever. Now this was a different friend group, but the point still remains that like people don't hang out. I don't know why. Like you ask your dad, my dad used to hang out at the arcade with his buddy all the time, like up until like they'd hang out at the arcade and then it would close and then they'd go to the 24 diner or either the diner or the gas station and they'd get coffee and be out till like 4 in the morning. Now, is that something I'm into? No, I don't like being up that late. Like I said, it's about midnight as I'm recording this and I'm about to go to bed soon and I'll upload this tomorrow so that the algorithm doesn't start fucking me over because I uploaded too many videos in one day. But yeah, people don't hang out in Gen Z like at all, from what I understand. I've never ever had a friend go, "Hey, dude," you know, like I said earlier. I'm sorry if I'm talking in circles. I'm rather tired and I'm focused on playing this video game. Um, but I don't get it. It's so weird. Like the whole thing. Like everyone's here's the thing. Like the coping thing, where I say, "Oh, you're coping. You're huffing copium," is that most of our problems are our own doing. Okay, I'm about to get real deep on this one here. This ties into the dating thing, but the lack of community, like I talked in the video, I think it was called "Get Comfortable Being Alone." In that one, I was in the car and I was talking about how um, there's no community anymore, and I honestly believe there's no community because there's no one pushing to organize community. Does that make sense? There's no one out here trying to make a space where people can hang out. You know what I mean? No one's doing that. Oh shit, I might die here. Run! Sorry. No one's organizing a space for people to hang out. Like literally, I can't find. None of my friends are offering to hang out or organize an event like, hey, let's all play this video game at this time on this day. That doesn't happen. I've never ever had any of my friends try and do that. I don't know if it's a me thing, if it's just like, hey, fuck that guy. We're gonna exclude him from this or whatever. But there's nothing to even exclude me from because no one's even doing anything to begin with. So I don't know. The whole thing is fucking weird and I don't like it. And I died again. God dang it. So like, I don't know. But like, because if you think of the community, the lack of community affects everything. It affects literally every social dynamic you can possibly think of. Because if there's no community, there is no dating. How many videos have I made about dating now? If there's no dating, there's no, you know, reproduction. And since there's no reproduction, foreigners are now replacing the Europeans or European descendants in America. Now, is that something I really care about? Kind of. I kind of care about it because a lot of these foreigners are, I wouldn't say criminals, but they're a lot of these people who are coming here are doing shit that is illegal and it is giving the foreigners that want to come here and just live ordinary lives, is giving those people a bad name. But it does tie into the community thing, the immigration. I'm not anti-immigration, I'm anti-crime. I don't want people coming here fucking up my nation because it's already fucked up now. So that's my stance on that. But that was kind of a tangent. That wasn't really important to the central idea of the video. Oh, excuse me, good lord. So there was that, and now there is the, excuse me, the complexities and intricacies of all these interpersonal dynamics. Because if you, another reason why I don't want to date this coworker, or I'm hesitant to, is because obviously she's my coworker, and if I attempt to ask her out and she doesn't jive with that, we might, it's going to be awkward, first of all, and second of all, we might just straight up not be friends anymore. And that makes me a little nervous because, like I said, I enjoy this girl's company. I do. I like talking to her. And it sucks knowing that you could do one thing. I'm not saying that it's XYZ, but I'm saying there could be things that you could do and you could just fuck up the whole dynamic you have with this person. Because, like, having male friends, that doesn't happen unless you're gay. So, I don't know. I don't know how you want to go about that one. Because, like I said, unless you're gay, you're not going to really be talking to them like that. So, like, it's really not, that's really not really a problem here. Sorry, I'm in a gunfight right now. I think we should be fine though. Um, goodness gracious. But yeah, the dating thing is not great because there's only so much hopium and copium you can huff before you like start accepting that it's rough out here, man. It is rough out here. It is not a fun time for the average young guy looking to date. I mean, am I like on the prowl? I kind of am actually. I was gonna say no, I'm not, but like I'm actively looking for a chick to, start dating because I need to find out. I need to start looking for like a spouse, dude. Like, I'm not saying it needs to happen today or tomorrow, but I'm saying if you don't start looking, you'll, like, here's the thing. Somebody said once, look at your room, find everything in it that's brown. Look around at everything that's brown, and then you close your eyes. Think of every green thing in the room. Name me 5 green things in the room. You can't because you were looking for the brown thing. It's the same way as dating, where if you're not really keeping your eyes to the ground or um, keeping your eyes looking out for that stuff, you might just miss stuff. You might just miss things. And like, I don't know if people say I have really high standards because I don't want to date a chick that's going to drink alcohol, bro. I really don't. So people say that right there, I have high standards because I don't want to date a chick who drinks. So like, that's already one marker down. Like my marker, sorry, my standards are not. I have a few things that are no goes. I don't want a chick who smokes. I don't want a chick who drinks. I don't want a chick who does drugs. I don't want a chick who likes to visit nightclubs. And I don't want a chick who is definitely not satanic. I can possibly manage in the dating a chick who is a secular person or atheist, whatever. I am not going to date a woman who is um, any type of anti-Christian. Because, in fact, most people, I've met people who try and say that if you're a white, this shows you liberals, how dumb liberals are. Because liberals hear things and they go, this is true. This is fact. Conservatives do the same. I mean, a I'm semi-independent. I mean, I'm not gonna say that, oh, I'm smarter than both sides, but it's like both sides do dumb shit that I don't agree with. So that's where I'm coming up with that. But chick was trying to tell me that since I am a Christian and I'm a white male in America, I have it easy. I wouldn't really say so because now there's no DEI hiring for white people. That doesn't exist. There's no diversity hire for white people. White people are believed to be like the default by corporations. So they're trying to hire more people that are non-whites. And there's that. And companies are also outsourcing their jobs and their labor to foreigners because they will work for cheaper. People also say that that is a crazy take for me to have. I don't really think so. I think this is like you can view this. You can view this happening in your community. Next time you go to the store, check how many foreign people are there. Like legitimately. But this chick was trying to say, "Oh, well, you got it easy because you're white and a Christian in America." I said, "Lady, how many times have you heard a person who's open about their faith not get ridiculed for it? Seriously. How many times has that happened? How many times have you known that has happened? Because I can't, like I said, almost everyone I know, who even then that I know that I deal with on a regular basis are a-religious, are atheists, whatever. They don't practice any type of spiritual belief. And that's fine, but I'm saying Christianity is on a downtrend. It is not popular to be a Christian in America. It just simply isn't. I don't know why people think it is. I'm not saying that it's cool to be in a thing that is unpopular, but what I am saying is it is definitely um, not popular to be a Christian right now because, like I said, when Christianity drops in popularity, it affects multiple things, like how the community drop also affects multiple things, like how the rates of marriage are at another, I believe, an all-time low right now because every person is non-religious. So why would you get married if you were non-religious? Why would you? It doesn't make sense. You don't stand to gain anything from being married if you were non-religious. Marriage is literally a religious doctrine, basically. Because, excuse me, Marriage exists to show a covenant between two people before the Lord. That's what marriage exists for, is to show everyone and in your community and God himself that you and your spouse are now married and are one flesh before the eyes of God. That is why marriage happens. But if everyone is, secular, there is no reason to have marriage. Why would you have marriage if you don't even believe in God? You wouldn't. At least it makes sense for me to say that you wouldn't, because it's illogical. Why would you? It doesn't make sense. So, like I said, I want to be married. Most people, I find, don't care to be married, like at all. And this is because of a decline in uh, religious followings. That's all this is really from, if we're going to be honest. Because, like I said, why would you even pursue why would you pursue marriage if you were not religious? It makes no sense for you to. So that's why it is on a downtrend. Oh, fuck me, dude. This game has no right to be this hard. Tell you right now, holy shit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not naked. I have shorts on. I don't have pants on. Jeez, you can tell I'm getting tired. Um, I merely said that so YouTube wouldn't fucking give me a strike. God dang, two shot me, bro. Holy shit. This game is starting to piss me off already. I might just fucking go to bed. Okay, up there. Um, but like, I don't know who. This is like fairy tale Disney princess shit. This idea that everybody has the one out there for them. It's just not true. I don't know when people started thinking that this is true and that people, there's somebody for everybody. No, there's not, because the top tier dudes are gonna nail the lower tier chicks, and you'll just be stuck. Like, not everything is physical, obviously. I know that's hard for some people to believe, but it's definitely based in reality that a lot of this shit is based on physicality. Because somebody was saying there's tall men, there's tall women, there's short men, and there's short women, right? He said the tall dudes want the tall girls, okay? Because, obvious reasons. And then the short women want the tall dudes. There's no women that want the short dudes, motherfucker. You see the problem here? There's no women out here who are like, I love me a short man. Doesn't exist. I've never heard a woman ever say that they like guys who are shorter than them. So being a short guy is a brutal phenotype, because a lot of women just are not gonna want you because you're shorter than them. And we live in a weird time where being tall is like some sort of status symbol, and that being tall means you're like cooler than other people who are short. I mean, this was always a thing, but like if you look at this is what proves this is a thing right here. If you look back at like not like old history, but like if you look back at before the modern era, people were much shorter than they are now. The average height on Earth, like during the bubonic plague time, was like tall was like 5'5". Sorry, 5'10" was tall. 5'5" was like average for men. Now average for men is 5'9". You can easily view this through selective breeding because if women continuously pick tall men to have their children, taller people will be born and people will get taller. Does that make sense? This is why certain animals still exist. Like, and this doesn't disprove any type of evolution or any type of creationism because creationism is not disproved by evolution or gene pool selectivity or whatever you might call it. It just shows that these traits are measurable and they are visible to the public. If you go back, you can see that people used to be shorter and now people are just taller. You might even see it now because I see a lot of people who were taller than me that I didn't believe. When I was in school, I was the tallest kid, right? Now a lot of people are taller than me. A lot of people are 6'1", 6'2". I'm 5'10". With shoes on, I'm 5'11". There are a lot of people out there who were still taller than me. You'll always find, that's another funny fucking thing. You'll always find the guy that's like 6'4". He's never single. He's never single. My one manager is 6'4". He's not even good looking. I hate to be that guy. He's not even good looking. He's like slightly overweight and he's, don't mean to shit on him. I don't really give a fuck, but I'm saying he's not exactly fuck. He's not exactly a super high SMV man, but he is not single. He's in a long-term relationship. You know what I'm saying, dude? You'll find that people who are tall are never fucking single. Unless they choose to be. They'll never be single unless they fucking choose to be. Because I had to work with another chick for one day, and she said she was going on a date with a 6'8" black man. And she thought that was so hot just because he was 6'8". Motherfucker, you were 5'5". You see what I'm saying? Everyone wants taller people. I don't understand why tall is a status symbol. I really don't get it. If it is like, I know it being tall boosts your SMV. There's like shit that boosts your SMV that I don't understand because like I'm not gonna say I'm a looks maxer. I think looks maxing is fucking retarded. Just take care of your skin and your health on a regular basis. That's all you gotta fucking do. Observing people's canthal tilt and being like, oh, I'm a superior male because you have negative canthal tilt and I don't, you're like retarded. But like, there's definitely shit that like boosts a man's SMV in the eyes of women that does not make any sense to me. Like, who cares if you have thick eyebrows? Like, I think I have pretty thick eyebrows. If you want to look, who gives a shit? But that was the thing my ex commented on was how thick my eyebrows were. And I'm like, is this a thing that women really care about? Is your fucking thickness of your eyebrows? Like, who gives a shit, dude? Like, there's so much shit. Maybe it's because I'm Christian and I don't value physical appearance over fucking everything else, like some people do. But like, I don't care. I really don't give a shit. Is the chick nice to me? That's like the main thing, dude. Like, you'll find that most men don't get to really pick their spouse or their partner. They kind of end up just having a woman pick them in a sort of weird way, and then that's just their partner. Like, there's not really a whole lot more that goes into it. They're just kind of, we're in the right place at the right time. Like my dad was. My dad was just happened to be in the right place at the right time to meet my mother. And he said I got very lucky. Even in, you know, after she passed, he was like, "Yeah, I got very lucky with your mother because he said she was my only girlfriend that I ever had." And I was like, "Damn." Like the only serious one he ever had. I think they met when he was 25. something like that. I don't know, man. Some it was like his mid 20s, and like I said, it just goes to show you that like a lot of men don't get to pick. They do not get to pick. Like especially in today's market, the women get to pick whoever the fuck they want. The men don't get any say in the dating market. They really fucking don't. So like do with that what you will. Like this idea that oh there's one out there for you. Whoever is going to be the one that picks me is probably not going to be the one that first of all I even want and second of all that God wants for me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like like I said earlier in the video, most women when I tell them that I am not going to have sex with them until we get married, they immediately stop listening to what I'm saying to them and they stop talking to me. It's just how it goes. They lose interest like that as soon as you stop providing. Because, like I said about my, um, who was that? My ex girlfriend was trying to have sex with me on like the third time we met outside of work. Dude, and I mean, she pressured me into having sex. I'm not gonna say that that was like rape or rape equivalency, because no, it wasn't that serious. I still willingly, took my pants off and did the deed. But I mean, I wasn't ready for it, and we live in a society that values sex to such a high degree that I thought if I didn't have sex before a certain age, I would be a loser. I firmly believe that if I didn't have sex by a certain time, I would be a loser. Because that's what our society pushes. That's just what they be telling you, man. So like I was what, 18? I think I was 18 when I lost my virginity. And if I was smart and was doing things the way God intended, I'd still be a virgin. I'd still be a virgin right now. Because I would never have done that and I would have waited till marriage like I'm supposed to. But I didn't. And here we are. Honestly, I believe that if I never did that, I wouldn't have developed so much neuroticism in like the coming years to like I got over it, but it was not very serious neuroticism. Excuse me. It was like definitely a thing I had to experience though was neuroticism through leaving this shit because I was like, was I doing the right thing? Was I this? Was I that? If your heart is telling you get the fuck out of there, get out of there. Don't listen to what this is telling you. Do not, or well, depending on your scenario, listen to either one, because sometimes your logic will tell you that I can't do this because X, Y, and Z, and your heart will tell you I can't do this because X, Y, and Z. It's different. I don't know how else to explain it to you. But like if you're living in, I'd say your heart is your feelings. Like if you're feeling unfulfilled, but you still like this person, get the fuck out of there. If your logic is telling you that there is no way I can actually pursue a relationship with this woman, get out of there. Just get out of there. Because that is also a problem. It is in fact, just as bad if your logic is telling you that you need to get out of there. So like, that's why there's so much. This is why a lot of people don't even want to date, is because there is so much shit that goes into this. And like, would I like to date? Yes, I'd love to date. I'd love to meet a nice girl and start going on dates, and talking to them and seeing them outside of my job, and like that's the other thing, dude. Like, people don't know how to do wholesome stuff with their girlfriend. They have no idea. Because what time is it? This might be the last. This will be the last thing I say. This last bit. Um, this is a long video. Holy shit. Let me wrap this up though. People don't know how to do wholesome things with their girlfriend anymore. They kind of just get together, they start making out, watch Netflix, and they'll like have sex. That's not healthy. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. That is not healthy. What I want to go, dude. Like I was watching Dapper Deb, and he was talking about this today. He was saying like this. He said the ideal for a lot of guys, especially this time of year, is that you go out with your girlfriend, you go to the store, you make like kind of a whole day out of this or a few hours out of this. You guys go to the store, you guys, get all the ingredients to like excuse me, you get all the ingredients to like bake cookies. And then you guys go back home, you put on some Christmas music, and you guys bake cookies and you like watch a movie and you go to bed. That is so cute. You don't think you guys understand that would be so nice for like the average dude to just have that. If we could just have that, that would be so good for most guys. Or like if you would like I would love this, man. I would love this so bad. If like this would be perfect for me. Like you get up, you go see your girlfriend. You guys go get breakfast, you get coffee. Like I love making pancakes, so I would love to make pancakes for a potential girlfriend. And then you guys, go hiking and, you come back, you maybe do some type of creative thing. Like if I had a girlfriend that also like played an instrument or something, that'd also be really cool. Cause then we could like maybe write stuff. I think that would be sick, dude. Or if a girl who liked to sing, like all this stuff is like so much more interesting than yeah, I have a fat ass. So much more interesting. Or like if I had a girl who like loved to draw. I know I've talked about a few of these things before. This would be so much more interesting. So like if I could get up and go, we go get breakfast and then or I make it or whatever, then we go hiking and then, it just sounds so fucking so lovey-dovey. You go sorry, I made myself laugh. You go hiking and then you check her for ticks, she checks you for ticks, and then you go watch a movie or something, you make dinner, you just talk to each other, you guys sit with each other, sit on the couch. That'd be so nice. That would be so beautiful. But everyone has this porno brain where they're just like, I gotta fuck, I gotta bump uglies like constantly, and that like screws up the dynamic for like everybody. And I do have hope for this next couple this year. I think in 2026, I'm hoping I find a nice girl to start dating. Because I'm hearing a lot of women are coming around to this. They're seeing how like stupid this shit is, because like they're you can tell when the media doesn't want people to have kids, uh, especially people who are not traditionalists. Like in America, most people aren't traditionalists anymore, but there's a push to go back for that, and it started a few weeks ago, a few months ago, and more people are pushing back. Excuse me, towards traditionalism, and that is always a good thing. Um, but like the article of is having a boyfriend embarrassing? I think a lot of people sniff that out as fucking anti reproduction propaganda, anti marriage propaganda, whatever. Having a boyfriend is not embarrassing. I don't really think I should have to say that, but like, it's like saying is having a girlfriend embarrassing? Like, no, you like this chick. It's beautiful. Like anybody who's actually been in a serious relationship, it's beautiful. It's great. At least you think it might be great for a while. Depending on who you're with, it is really good. It's really good. Like while I was with my last girlfriend, I was really happy for a while before X, Y, and Z happened and I had to leave. I was really happy. I was like, great. I felt great. I felt I would wake up and I'd be excited to go see this woman. You know what I mean? Like, there's like a thirst for life by a certain point. Like, these things give us meaning to like continue living. If you're a guy who can't make friends, this is why I feel bad for incels, is because some of these guys, they can't make friends, they can't make a girl, they can't get a girlfriend, they don't have a job. It's like, what the fuck are you living for? What are you living for? Get something, guys. I'm gonna be honest. You guys gotta get something because I know being out here is hard, but like, you guys can make it, man. But you gotta be looking. That's the thing. You gotta be looking because, like I said, I am looking for options right now. Am I gonna download a dating app? Fuck no. But I am looking for a long-term girlfriend because, like I said, I want to be a father one day. I want to have kids, but I need to meet the right woman first. Absolutely, I need to meet the right woman first because the girl from work, she's great. She's great. She'd be a great mom. She'd be a great mom, but I don't know that I can that it would work between us. So like the idea of me asking her on a date scares me because like I already know her and we're already good friends. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like if we weren't good friends because when she started working there because she moved stores or whatever, um she was already with a guy. But now they're not together anymore. He broke up with her. So like I have to think though. Maybe I don't think I really want to ask her, but I would have to figure out. I would have to figure, sorry, that he broke up with her for a reason. I don't know. We're good friends though. I'm totally comfortable just staying friends with her. That's what I think I honestly might do because I don't want to fuck this up and then because I could have lifelong friends through her and her family. I don't know. I don't know. I am a thinker though. I probably should have called myself on YouTube the thinker, the overthinker, because that's the main thing I do. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bed. I'll upload this tomorrow, like I said, because if I upload 3 videos in one day, they're gonna stop pushing my shit. I know it. Um, but remember, Christ is Lord. Jesus Christ is Lord, and he's out there. He's up there. Oh, geez. Anyway, bye now.